I want to start by saying I just started to post the video of a man who calls himself the Antichrist and demon. Multiple people at the place that were being kind to me and allowing me to stay at a place that I'm not allowed to be normally to wait for my pregnant wife to come get me with the help of a friend because we have no vehicle. This is a few hours after it was 10 o'clock, and now it's 12:07, 7 minutes after midnight. I finally got something to eat that I like, that didn't get chosen for me, that I purchased with my food stamps with my wife. And all I can say is, I am a good person. I will be a good father. I put myself in between that man and my wife several times because I know he's got a lot of bags over there, but I don't know what's in them. I watched the news after the Las Vegas Strip shooting, which is where I was homeless before I came to Utah and got put in lockup for something as my previous name. I took my wife's last name. She says I'm a good father, or said I would be a good father. I'm still tired and I haven't slept, and I'm a good man, and I need to stop doubting myself and insulting myself. After my first video of today, or the last 24 hours, I pulled out my phone to record this man threatening to kill me, calling himself the Antichrist and a demon, only to find out that I didn't have to stay there because the cops didn't want me there anyway, told me to get in the car, didn't tell me to leave. I was waiting for him to come talk to me and get my side, and I said, I have video footage of what he was doing and what I was doing. I want to give it to you so I can press charges on him for threatening to kill me, for telling him that he lied to me about being a regional manager. He's homeless and panhandling. I'm not homeless. I'm stranded, and I never once asked for money. Never once asked for a cigarette without offering the pocket change I had. Had several people give me a cigarette after offering pocket change. I didn't have to pay them that because they just gave it to me. I didn't have anybody come by me that I asked for help from. I've had a lot of people offer stuff to me because, yeah, I look like then that I was under the influence of some kind of substance that I haven't used. On my word, I did not use any illegal substances. I haven't used any prescription substances at all for a while, almost a month. I took a melatonin, 10 milligram fast acting, and a CBD gummy sold here in Texas for like $60-something. Last time I had it, the bottle went really quick because I don't like taking melatonin unless I haven't slept for several days because it stops working as good as it should. I'm due for my appointment to get my medication soon. I know what works for me because I've been on pretty much every medication imaginable for my symptoms. There's only a few that work. MHMR is supposed to be a mentally ill facility that'll offer you emergency housing if you're disabled and on income, even if you don't have any of that income, like you get a check for being disabled. Well, I went up there for that and to help a friend of mine who I now call my wife. Well, my wife's in the shower right now trying to relax. I wanted to get this out there that yes, I have somebody that in her heart and soul wants me to be her husband, and I agreed in my heart and soul she's my wife. But I'm taking it slow, and all intents and purposes we're boyfriend and girlfriend. My wife knows about that. And I don't even care if you believe me or not, because, hey babe, you know that Erica is my wife. by heart and soul, right? I told you that, right? You talked to her tonight. Say yes or no. I have a video playing. Yes.
You said it earlier. I did not hear it.
Remember I said that we were spiritually married? Yeah. And you talked to her and you knew about it, right? You know that I want to be with her, but I'm not attracted to her in the way that a spouse usually is attracted to somebody. I just want to be there for her, and I want her to hug me, right?
Yeah.
Am I interested in having relations with this woman?
Not from what you say, no.
Okay, I'm not. I want to be able to give her a hug whenever I'm stressed because she calms me down. And my wife's hormones are kind of hard to deal with being an empath. If you don't know what that is, oh well. When I give her a hug, I always instantly stop talking. And when I give her a hug, sometimes it tenses me up because I'm worried about squishing the baby. And she's got these weird emotions going around that keep changing. It wasn't like that when I met her.
I'm pregnant.
And that is the statement that pisses me off. You think I don't know that? She's pregnant with my child. And that's the only reason why things are getting all skewed, because I can sense the baby's emotions and hers. And then I don't know which one's which, because they're both the same at the same time, but I can tell it's two different places. I don't know where the directions are coming from. And I'm convinced she has a boy and a girl in her womb. They say she's pregnant with a boy and that's it. No. We have fraternal twins. And let this be known. That is October 17th, 2019. She's due to give birth January 8th, 2020. And I guarantee you, whenever she gives birth, she's going to give twins. One a boy, one a girl. We've already picked the boy name because we know she's having a boy. If I'm wrong, I'll shut up about being psychic. But I have proof that I can heal people with my energy. And I also have another psychic person that's told me she's never wrong and says the same thing as me and can feel the girl in the same place that I rest my hand when I go to sleep. I don't normally tuck my hand underneath her belly because that's a little uncomfortable for her and me because it's a weird angle. And at this point, if I'm wrong, I'm willing to swallow my pride and never post another video if it's not singing, because I can sing. But if I'm right, I want to have the ability for anybody that's seen this video that wants to interview me to make up their mind to come see me and talk to me. So I can do whatever they ask me to do if I'm capable. And I'll tell you if I can or can't do it. But I'm not going to lead on to what my abilities are, because I want somebody who doesn't know me other than the fact of what I posted on this YouTube video and on Bo Copeland's YouTube video, which is now Bo Riley, but you have to search Bo Copeland. It's BOCOPELAND. It's a picture of me with really long hair and a hat with my tongue out. I have a lot of videos there. My video I just posted, the first one, 19 views. It took me a long time to get that on my first ever YouTube posted video with a finch on my shoulder for 8 seconds. I only caught 8 seconds of it because the second I started recording, it flew away. Almost like it didn't know what the feeling of the energy coming from my phone was and got defensive and flew. Until then, it kept chirping at my ear. I was like, oh yeah, huh? And he could see himself in the camera, and I went, didn't make a sound on my phone. And he went, oh man, that's a trip. It's outside of the Channel 2 news station in Utah because I calmed the bird down enough that got stuck in a corner and kept running into the window. I got on my knee and I said, hey, calm down. And I kind of like put my finger on the ground and he jumped on it. Like, I don't know, it looks like a twig. I'm going to jump on it because if it is and that big guy is about to pull me out, at least I can fly. And I kind of gently lifted him up and slowly put him to my shoulder. He was there from what I estimated about 3 minutes while I kept like showing on the camera in selfie mode. I was like, huh? And then I finally went and starting the recording. 8 seconds later was the end of that video. The first second I started recording, he flew, almost hit the same window again and then got away, which means I'm glad he didn't hurt himself trying to get away from me. This right here is not a self-inflicted injury. My wife and several people there were enraged because I saw the blood and thought it was my face. But he went to grasp my shirt or claw me or hit me, and he missed and got right here. That's physical evidence on the same day or the same 24-hour period of the date that this incident happened. He drew blood. He assaulted me. He threatened to kill me. He pulled out a big old board, according to the last video I posted, and threatened me. Said, "I will kill you. I am the Antichrist. I'm a demon." Well, I know he's psychotic. I'm diagnosed with undiagnosed psychosis. But I'm also diagnosed with Asperger's and ADHD, so I kept telling him, "Dude, please just walk away and I'll get my stuff and get in my car. I don't want you near when I get in and pack my stuff so we can leave. Because I don't trust you. I don't know what you have. I know what I have. And all I'm asking is you for a walk away because I want to leave." And he didn't listen. Finally, after I'd called the cops, yelling and incoherent, saying, "I know where I'm at, blah, 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 this is where I'm at, and I need you to come because this guy keeps lunging at me." I set down my rolly suitcase because I kept lifting it up to block myself when I thought about swinging it overhand and smacking him on top of the head. I'm like, no, that would make me the bad guy. I set it down. He grabbed it and he walked away. "Fine, I'm going to take this," because I backed up enough to say, "Hey, now I've gone. You go. I have to get my bag." And he grabbed it and walked away with it and said, "I'm going to take it." Security officer took it from him and told me to please leave. Okay? He's not going to do anything to you if you just leave. And I'm like, "Yeah, really? Well, I've called the police. I have to be here to give my side of the story. What are you doing defending him? He threatened me. He started the fight, and you know it. You also know that he said he was a assistant manager of a petrol station. He's not wearing a shirt. He's not employed here. He's homeless and mentally ill. You guys are doing for him what you're doing for me." And I didn't know his name. I didn't know he stayed here. So whenever I went over to ask who the regional manager was, the assistant manager was, and he's not the guy that told me he was, and told me I had to either go inside or leave whenever I was told to stay outside unless I needed a drink or use the bathroom, because I was told to drink water because I was dehydrated. They allowed me to sit there until my wife here could show up with her friend. That she had to sit outside where she was living because another friend got her there to remove one of the steps. She sat outside at her job. She had 9% on her phone, had to turn it off. Then her friend loaned her a cord charger, the cord and the block to charge her phone, so that she didn't have to keep her phone off. One of her friends, I told that, I posted this video already. I sent it to everybody. Watch it, and then you'll understand why you shouldn't doubt me. And now I've posted 2 more videos, and I'm going to be sending those to my friends that I know because of her. I'm going to be sending them to the groups. And I'm telling anybody that's on my friends list, if you know somebody who is mentally ill, and you know somebody who knows somebody that you know about that's mentally ill, remember, I really do get a disability check at the max amount of benefits for somebody that's never had a real job, because I don't play well with others and can't keep a job. And guess what? I can keep a job. I just have to have the right job and the right kind of people that know what my problems are, that aren't going to get mad at me when I need to take a break. That's what happened at the McDonald's job that I got before I got my benefits. And I had to quit because they wanted me to do my first 8-hour shift. Just 2 days after I started. I was supposed to do 7 days of 4-hour shift to 2 weeks of 4-hour shifts for training. They trained me for 2 days and they said you got to do a 4-hour shift on Sunday. No. When I applied for the job, you asked me when I could work. I said not Saturdays and Sundays, 5 days a week. So I could do full-time once I get done training, because you guys aren't going to be paying me enough for until I get my disability benefits. Well, they threw that out the window and said, no. There's a lot of people that don't want to work the weekends. And I'm like, yeah, but there's not a lot of people that have things that are spiritually keeping them from being able to work without, the proper permissions. Like, the Sabbath day, according on what your beliefs are, is either on Saturday or on Sunday. How come nobody can agree? Well, truly, nobody knows. because the Sabbath day is the day that our Creator in the Bible says to keep holy, because it's the day He rested and admired His other days of work. And you're not supposed to work because He didn't work. Everybody argues. Jewish think it was Saturday, and Christians thinks it's Sunday. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why does everybody have to argue about logistics of things they weren't even around to witness? We have documentation from people a long, long time ago that gets translated over and over and over again into different languages and has mistranslations. As you know, Moses was once translated to be having horns as he came down the Mount Sinai, and in DC there's a sculpture of Moses with horns. But it's actually supposed to be a rim of light, a halo, or some other type of thing, according to the translations. One time, he was bearing horns when he came down off the mount and saw that everybody was worshiping a golden calf. Wouldn't that be kind of weird? He killed everybody that was worshiping a golden calf when he had horns, like a bull? Don't be worshiping my gold calf. I'm the bull. Die. You see what I'm saying? It sounds weird. And I'm being very humorous about something that's probably touchy and religious, and everybody says don't argue religion. I don't argue religion. I study all religions, and I did say quite a sarcastic remark, and it's off topic. This just shows I do this until I'm tired. I want to sleep. I am tired. I don't want to sleep. I want to watch my wife sleep because she told me that she hasn't really slept but a couple of minutes. I get told that she hasn't been eating because her stomach's always knotted up. I told her, okay, well, I make you a deal. You eat because my throat's a little swollen, and then I will. I didn't see her eat, and I forgot. I started eating my pizza rolls, and I made her eat a pizza roll before going to take a bath. You can say something, you know. Have I told any lies in this at all? According to what you know.
Yeah, from what I've heard. Yeah.
Okay. At my point right now, I'm tired of being called illegitimate or unable or not worth anything because I get a government check and I don't have to pay taxes. Oh, trust me, it's very taxing to have to go through homelessness and incarceration because you're stealing to live and eat for a very, very long time because you don't have the ability to get your appointments. You don't have the ability to know when you have a psych appointment to verify you for disability. I got denied in 2013 because I didn't have a mailing address. They gave me a psych appointment and they told me they'd know within 3 months. I go in 3 months. Oh, you got denied because you didn't go to your psych appointment. I didn't know I had to have a psych appointment. I was on disability. I went 11 months without it, and then at 13-month mark, I found a payee, but you said 12 months means no benefits. You have to reapply. So I reapply being homeless. You know I'm homeless and I don't have a mailing address. So you schedule me an appointment knowing I don't have a phone. You can't contact me and tell me when my psych appointment is. I get denied. Is that a suable thing? You didn't tell me any of these things. You know I'm disabled. I've got communication blocks. Nobody's sitting there counseling me through everything and letting me know what's going on because they won't do that for you unless you have insurance. You don't get your insurance until you're officially disabled. And that's another reason why I couldn't get a state-appointed payee. I had to find somebody that I trusted, which took me about 2 months after I got out of jail. Because I know a lot of people, and I can sense if they're trustworthy. And I still took 2 months to decide on who would do it. They denied me access to being my own payee because the owner of a group home in Idaho for adults, co-ed, told me that in order for me to stay there, she wants me to sign a paper making her a payee so that she can pay my bills and give me what's left. She said nothing of the matter that by signing this paper, it means I'm telling my Social Security that I'm not eligible to be my own payee when I've been my own payee since I knew I could be and applied for it myself. I can't get my own permission to be my own payee after signing this document, but I was tricked into signing it. So since I reapplied for it and my wife helped me get to my appointments, and I am eligible for it and I do deserve it because all the suffering I've been through, I still got gypped on the amount I'm supposed to get. They gave me $514 a month at first, and only gave me 3 months of back pay because my previous payee got 2 months of my check. She promised she wouldn't spend anything, but she couldn't give me the card because it was in her name, getting only my benefits on that account. I got robbed of 2 months of checks at $700 something, and that's a federal offense. But my mom told me that she's in vegetable state in Washington, and she's not sure about the group home or who's running it now. I don't have access to that money, and if she's really in a vegetable state, then she needs my money more than I do, because she may not survive, and she's a good woman. She needs to be cared for, but that still doesn't matter. I need to be recompensed for losing half of what I was owed on my back pay. Because once I went back and I said, okay, no, I told you my bills, I told you how much I owe. They readjusted me to $771, but did not readjust my back pay. So I'd have lost 2 months of my back pay. I would have got 4 months of $771 a month. Meaning that at the end of all of that, I have around $3,000 of back pay. Guess how much I got? $1,600, half of what I should have got if they did everything correctly and did their side of things correctly, and then actually pursued a lawsuit against this woman for stealing my benefits and refusing to give them to me. I was my own payee. I agreed to let you be my payee so you can pay my rent. You're not paying my rent anymore, so I need my money. I need access to my money because I'm not going to keep in touch with you. You've been hateful. You're accusing me of running up a cable bill. I don't have a cable TV in my room. Some of the other residents do. It wasn't me. I don't watch TV. The TV I watch is plugged into the wall but doesn't have cable access. But you're going to charge me for paying for pay-per-view channels when there's no public TV with pay-per-view channels, except for the ones that pay extra to get boxes in my rooms. And there's no passcode on the pay-per-view channels. You can't track which one is used because all the devices are linked to one that calls them all the same thing. You're able to individually stream everything. At least that's how I heard about it. And they were convinced that I did it. They knew that I did it. Had a collection phone bill come up on email just not the phone. I don't know. Because she promised me that she'd help me get a place to stay. But she didn't tell me I was going to lose the company. Only getting $70 in my month. God rest her soul. She gave me a thumbs up for the first video I posted. Still don't know if my first video of autism awareness. I have autism spectrum disorder, and I'm diagnosed with Asperger's, the highest version of autism. I'm coming down from the adrenaline rush because I had it before I got attacked. I had it my limit by accident right here, all the way going down. That's because there's chemicals that are deactivating in my body. It's sending a trail down my spinal cord so much that relaxing. It feels like my body parts are being shallow. All that is my body now. I have one more question for you. You love me. You know I love you. Whenever I didn't believe myself, you told me I was going to be a good teammate. What was it? Say that again, please.
A good man, and you're gonna be a good father.
And why would you know I'm going to be a good father? This is my first son. Because all of the people you consider siblings that have kids tell me how they act around me and how I act around them.
You're good with kids.
Okay. I'm good with kids, but I've never dealt with an infant baby but once, and that was my half-brother's son crying on the floor, and I just got out of juvenile custody. They're getting high in a bedroom, left me out there with him. He didn't have a diaper on. He had a maxi pad on. Okay? Because they were too concerned about buying condoms, my brother and his spouse, who met in high school, who are now divorced. He doesn't want to talk to me, but my mother told me this story. She called CPS because I called the police at their neighbor's place, and my neighbor was a registered sex offender, and the woman with him was supposedly a whore. But when I walked in there and said, "No, I really don't know what to do. I feel like I've been drugged, and my brother and all of his friends are smoking pot in their bedroom, and their baby's crying on the floor. I don't know how to change a diaper, and he's not wearing a diaper. He's wearing some kind of like pad that you get at store for girls. I don't want to talk about it, but I don't know what to do. What should I do?" She's like, well, I would say call the police because that's child neglect. Yeah, but I didn't do anything either, so if I come ask you. Well, she's like, well, how old are you? 19? Well, then you should call the police because that's not your kid, and you really aren't old enough to be around a crying baby and know what to do, especially if you just got a juvie. I was like, how do you know that? Well, because her brother was all excited about it. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I don't have a phone, so they let me use their phone. I called them, and they let me sit there and relax for a little bit before I did. The police showed up. My mom heard it on the police scanner, came over and talked all the cops down because she helped train them to learn what mental health diseases were and tried to tell them I was insane and what was happening wasn't really happening. And I was lying, and there was no evidence to prove that they were all smoking weed because they have an escape plan for everything. They're intelligent drug users, but they're not as smart as I am. They're all afraid of me because I'm super intelligent. And my mother also used 2 checks because I left after that and went back to Utah. My mail was going to her mailbox, and I had 2 checks, full month benefit. No, 3, going to her house. Whenever I went to go, find out what happened to my checks and change my address, turns out the checks were supposedly signed by me and endorsed to my mother. Paid to the order of Heidi Hooley, signed by me. Okay, well, here's my problem with that. First off, I showed up at my dad's house the exact same date that was time stamped on the check when it was cashed. And the mail, according to the feds, was sent to them the same day that it was time stamped. It wasn't easy to get to my dad's place. I got a bus ride, but I guarantee you it wasn't possible for me to sign those checks if they didn't make it until the day before I left to stay in a hotel room because they banned me from my brother's house because he's mentally ill. And I went with a police transport to stay in a hotel room for 24 hours, courtesy of the police, so I could figure out what was going on. I got somebody to pay for me a bus ticket to go to Utah to see if my dad would help me, and he took me down here in 2012 for Christmas. November, I got out of juvie. I was here for Christmas, and my cousin, who introduced me to my wife this year, was really nice to me. When I was suicidal, I couldn't think of anybody that would want to help me, but she smiled. She was so happy around me. She kept saying, "Oh, I remember." Nobody else conversated with me or even acted like they recognized who I was, except for the fact that I know my grandma and grandaunt knew who I was, and my grandpa, who I was staying with, nobody paid attention to me. It was all my cousin. And my dad took my cousin, Josie, and my cousin Lane out to watch a movie. It was Hobbit Unexpected Journey. You get 3D glasses with that one. Well, then he said, okay, now we're going to go sneak to the movie playing next, which was Night and Day or Jack Reacher. We watched all 3 of those. So my dad paid for 3 tickets and enticed all of us that he was guarding to go and watch 6 more movie tickets worth of movies. He paid for 3D movies. The regular tickets were $5 a pop. So that's $5, $10, $50, $20, $25, $30. And I hear that he does this on a regular because he's an outlaw. And why pay for more than 1 ticket when you're still there and you're able to walk around wherever? Oh, really? How many other people do little dishonest things like that? I know I do. but not since I got out of prison. I have done something like that on a couple of moments. I'm embarrassed about it, but I've already been forgiven, and I've already admitted that to the person. And at this point, I'm just going to say one more thing. My wife's getting ready to lay down and take a nap. I can't sleep, but I know she likes me to hold her so she can sleep. So I'm going to tell you one more time. I'm not stupid. I'm not worthless. And my wife knows this, but my mom saw the first video I posted. She got a traumatic brain injury, and her only response was a thumbs up. And I assume it's because one time she told me, listen, son, you're not junk, because I and the Hoolies don't make junk. Which means I'm not worthless. I'm not crazy. I'm not a piece of shit. Yeah, I'm genetically mentally ill, but I know how to do a lot of things that normal people don't. And I know how to do a lot of things that a lot of people have to go to school for and pay for it. I've been trained for some things that I could do as a career, but I don't like the idea of having a boss that's a dominant male figure that likes to push me around and call me names. Now, yeah, I'm disabled. I could sue him for that, but then why would I do that if he owns the business and he's the one that's over me? So I'm like the manager and he's the owner. Like, if I wanted to get a really good job because of my disabilities, I don't like being stepped on. I don't like being bullied. Everybody calls me Thor because it's a cute nickname that makes people realize that I believe in justice being served whenever it's deserved. God is the patron god, the patron Nordic god of justice. If you read the Eddas and not watch Marvel Comics, he is the god who is protector of little people that are taken advantage of. His sacred animal is a goat, and I can chew the top off of a can like a goat. And for some reason, I cannot find out, and I'm being honest, I cannot control it. When my wife scratches my chin, she's like, oh, please. And then eventually, if she does it just the right way, I'll baa like a freaking goat. And she's like, oh. And then it's not because I did it. No, I'm like, it makes me do that. It's not like I act it, and it doesn't even sound like that. I was just acting that one. Like, it's weird, right? Everybody is unique. There's no such thing as normal. So how can you call me mentally disabled whenever I'm sure in your mind, maybe you just have a really good way of keeping your mouth shut and not revealing what shouldn't be known. I have a problem with diarrhea of the mouth. I'll tell you everything and anything, whether you want to hear it or not. And then I get mad when you try to stop me when I'm not done with my thought, and my thoughts don't stop. They continue to go and go and go and go and go. That's autism. It's really hard for me to pause and take a break and take a breath and then say, okay, I think I've said enough. Obviously, I have issues. I did that from noon or around there at the Petro property after walking across the street and seeing the man that just attacked me panhandle it till 10 o'clock after I'd already asked the regional manager who he was because the regional manager wasn't him. I knew he was lying and he was homeless and he was acting like he could tell me what to do. He had nothing to do with the business. I was told to stay outside unless I needed a drink or to use the bathroom. I went inside and broke that rule so I could figure out why somebody that didn't look like a Petro employee would tell me that I had to go inside or leave the property. Fishy. So at this point, they said, well, just let me know when you see him again. I didn't see him until I was walking around the building to meet my wife and her friend in the front. And from what I know to be true, because one of the witnesses told me, he'd been over there the whole time talking to the security officer who had my back when I called the police on myself because I was paranoid that I was being too loud and obnoxious. Because the day before I got called on by somebody who reported me and then left the scene, I got cuffed up and put in the back of a vehicle because they misread my birth date on my ID and didn't use my ID number. They said I had a JP warrant here in Orange, Texas. Cuffed me up and said I was under arrest and got taken in. I was like, no, please. I beg you, please, run my ID again because I'm telling you I don't have any warrants. right? I've done nothing wrong. You said I don't have to be arrested. I've told you the truth. I gave you my name even though I'm ashamed of my last name at this moment in time. I'm not anymore. Other than the fact that everybody that she knows that has the name, there's only a few that she still talks to. And the main particular reason is, for one, I respect is still okay with and doesn't respond to or stop the ones I'm not okay with. My in-law, my mother-in-law. I call my other one father. Actually, I called him King Arthur because that's his name, Arthur. But I'll put it this way: you shouldn't disability because just because just because the vocabulary for what I am is mentally ill, disabled, retarded, or whatever else you think, I'm fully capable of doing what I have to, especially whenever I've got hyper focus and adrenaline through my body. I wouldn't back down from anybody if they pulled the nerve to attack my pregnant wife, even if they had a whole bunch of guns on them and I had nothing but my hands. I would go as fast as I could and take as many bullets as I possibly could and tackle that person so that they'd waste all their rounds trying to kill me and then waste the bullets, knowing full well somebody else would take advantage of that situation. Because I never go in packs of two on myself. You can say, you can ask. I'm just doing what I can right now. This is a 36-minute video. It's a little bit longer than my first one. I don't know what I'm titling it yet. So if you like the idea that I came up with this afterwards when I meditate and can think, please send a comment about it and give me a like, because I didn't know what I was going to do when I started this. I wanted it to be a message that says I stayed and kept my control. Got told I could stay somewhere because even though I was being belligerent, a lot of people felt bad for me and wanted me to be home, offered me to get a ride, and I'm like, no, because she already got all the way to her friend's job. I can't get a hold of her. Her phone's almost dead, and she turned it off so she can mess with me when she's on her way. And I don't want to not be here and home when she gets here just to know that her friend wasted her time. Right? Because that would be kind of cruel. Because I could have got a ride just by asking for help. I was afraid to ask for help in Texas because it's illegal to be transit, it's illegal to panhandle, and it's illegal to ask for help whenever you don't have help anywhere else. But there is hope for the helpless, help for the helpless, rest for the weary, according to a Christian song. And a lot of people down here are considered Catholic or Southern Baptist. They know the gospel song. I'm sure if you heard those two lines, you know the gospel song. But you let our law enforcement and our government in Texas tell somebody who got affected by Imelda, that already was homeless, that has problems in his mind. Everybody likes to call him Demon because he prefers to be called Demon. People give him money and cigarettes, and he's mentally ill, obviously. I can say that and not be a hypocrite because I admit I'm mentally ill. And I didn't know his intentions. I don't know him. I never met him. I didn't know what he was going to do if I turned around and turned my back to him and put my stuff in there. So I wanted to feel safe with an officer there. And I could have ended up getting a warrant. But proof, video footage, so that all of my wife's friends know. I got that scratch from what?
Crazy old
The final
guy.
thing that he did was swing his leg up, and if you weren't walking away to push me away, he would have got you right where it counts. And what would have happened? Could have miscarried. Her falling forward and what? Hit your stomach to the ground.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to get around her to block his hand for the next blow. He was attacking my wife because she turned her back to him to push me away. Which means after how many times I told him my wife is pregnant, get away, stay away, and stay between. Let me stay between you and my wife and back up enough so I know you're not going to follow me when I get my stuff in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking through every possible thing that a man that's willing to say he's going to kill me and grab a big old piece of wood that I don't even know the dimensions of. I still walked up and put my foot on it and I said,
think it
back
was
up.
some kind of 2x4.
It was some kind of building equipment wood,
Yeah.
and they just remodeled the Black Bear Diner because it had some kind of water problem. I was homeless there in January. And in my opinion, that's probably just extra scrap wood they hadn't got rid of because it was a big solid piece of wood. But that right there is from him clawing at me and missing my face and catching me here. Assault, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got injured. Threatening to kill me and almost hitting and injuring my wife that could have killed her baby or killed her. That's attempted murder of either the unborn baby or her. So that's 2 counts of attempted murder. And I would even say 3 because he threatened me so many times. Picked up that big 2x4. If I hadn't already walked away to get my wife away, then come back, he dropped down the board to show me that that's why they call me Demon. And said, I'll kill you. And he was going to pick that up and try to kill me with it. That's still attempted murder. And it is a deadly weapon. Attempted murder with a deadly weapon. Count 1. First degree felony. Life top sentence. And then 2 attempted murders without a weapon other than his hands. Right? So 2 intent. You know what I'm saying? I know the legal laws. I'm just so tired I can't think of all the fancy words. He tried to kill me and my wife, who was pregnant with an unborn child. That's 3 counts of attempted murder. Okay? And he assaulted me with a deadly weapon and clawed me and left a mark. So it's a battery and assault. But he walked away without being charged, and they told me to leave and wouldn't take video evidence, wouldn't take pictures of my injuries, and knew that I needed to go back to the hospital with certain symptoms that I was clearly showing because my medical record said so. Okay? They said so. Didn't give me enough time to explain my situation, try to press charges, try to prove I did nothing wrong, and use the 2 witnesses that watched the whole entire thing that didn't want to leave me alone and drove over anyway. My pregnant wife tries to protect me, facing him with her womb unprotected. She knows mixed martial arts. She knows how to defend herself, but it's a little more harder to maneuver with her pregnant belly. And I would almost love to have seen her put him on his ass without hurting herself. But she was exhausted and didn't eat as much as I did, even though she's been here with food. And this went way longer than I thought. In my opinion, I did nothing wrong, other than be a protective, expecting father, who is considered by my wife to be a good man, who makes mistakes, and a man who will be a good father. And if you've watched the other 2 videos, you know that I'm not always honest. And I say things I don't mean because I get in a tirade and I say things and I don't remember.
I call that talking out of your butt.
She calls it talking out of my ass, and she likes to call me on it. And sometimes she gets a little bit like, I don't want to talk because I don't want to egg him on. But other times she's like, you were out of line. You gonna call me a bitch? Yeah, you see, bitch. She did that today. I was like, my goodness, you did it. You stand up. Next time somebody pisses you off, do that. And I'll never assert my dominance again because that was awesome.
You were like,
Yeah, I was dumbfounded. That was all going through my head, but I was like, huh. But I meant it as a respectful comment because a bitch is a female dog and I consider myself a wolf. So if I got her pregnant, she's my bitch mate. If I was a werewolf and I was in wolf form and shit, it's an imaginative thing. I'm not. I'm just saying. She'd be my loyal mate, carrying my puppies, whatever they are, and loyal means she's not gonna leave me, and she'll fuck with anybody that tries to mess with my babies. And she held back just as much as I did, didn't you? What would you have done to him if you weren't pregnant?
Whatever needed to be done.
Well, you're professionally trained for defensive martial arts. What would you have done if you weren't pregnant and you weren't afraid of hurting yourself? Would you have pushed me away? Because I was holding back and just trying to stay between you and him. What would you have done?
Yeah, I would have immobilized him.
You would have immobilized him and put him on his back and then dragged me in a pressure point and put me into the back of the vehicle and got back into the vehicle and said, go. Huh. And I don't even know, because I've never seen that happen, but I guarantee you it would have happened. Okay, 22-year-old girl that I said is also considered to me my wife. I'm loyal to her, and I will keep her safe. But I'm not interested in her in anything else than somebody to talk to, right? Somebody to have fun with and take care of because she's being taken advantage of too, and she wants to be me. She wants me to be hers. Okay, and I agreed to that, but I told her I'm married. I got a kid on the way. I do have a responsibility to take care of that kid. My wife's done nothing wrong, and I'm kind of being an asshole by leaving. If you really want to deal with that, fine. But I've never been an asshole to you. I respect you, and I listen to you, and I don't understand why I can't do that with my wife.
Yeah.
It's probably because she's hormonal and I don't like the hormone flows, and I'm an empath. And she's not pregnant, she's not hormonal. I've never done anything sexual to her, but never mind, that's too far. I'll put it this way. I'm talking too much and I'm starting to lose focus and the ability to hold back some information, so I'm just going to say, you guys know who I am. I'm Bo Riley. You don't know where I live unless you know me and my wife and you've been given permission to know where I live. And at this point, if anybody shows up my doorstep and wants to know why the hell I didn't beat the out of that guy, is because I didn't want to go get locked up when I know my baby is coming.
Yeah.
Not knowing when I'd get out, because she wouldn't be able to handle that. And she's already said, I don't think I can carry this baby to term if you keep it up and you don't come home. I don't know. And it snapped me out of it over and over again, but I kept going into darker thoughts whenever somebody else would mess with me. Call the cops on me, tell me I'm in the wrong, and every time, I don't even know how many times I talked to a police officer, security guard, this, that, or the other within the last 3 days, and got told I'm in the right and I can stay, or I'm in the right, but can you please leave because people are getting uncomfortable, or wow, man, you sure can sing, but a regional assistant manager's trying to shoo me out the door, right? And then instead of going out the door, I started like waving the guy recording me out the front door. And then he got backed off. He's like, oh, like, never mind, this guy's not going to stop. He's going outside to do it. So I walked back up to him, getting into the song, and he recorded the whole thing. He makes music, and he's doing his job with his friends and having lunch. So I went to go show him another song that I had recorded myself singing. He's like, wait 1 second, man. I ain't got time right now. I got to leave. He grabbed my phone, and I was like, oh, well, I got my phone. Went into my Facebook, sent himself a friend request. I said, I'll accept that when I get some time, bro, but I really do want to talk to you. What? Captivated the whole entire Burger King with my song. I don't know where he's posting that. I don't know where he's showing that to. I thought I was homeless. I thought my wife was never going to see me again, and I wasn't welcome back here. All illogical thoughts. She kept secret the whole time that all this is going on because she knew that I was just being irrational and crazy in my head, and that I would come back whenever she could prove that she wanted me back. And just by what she did today, I will never doubt her again if I'm conscious of mind and sound of mind. But I can't promise that I'm never going to do it again, so the word for that is apology, not sorry. I apologize because I can't guarantee it won't happen again, because I can't guarantee I'm going to get the right kind of medications. But I'm just the way I am because this is the way I was created. It's genetic.
I love you.
You love me, I love you. You know I love other women, but you also know I promise not to do that with another woman without your permission. Okay? I haven't. I didn't even pursue it. I didn't do it even though I've gotten accused of doing it. And Erica, I'm not going to say the last name, told you what on the phone. I don't want to know. That was your guys' conversation.
Just that
But did you think, did you think at all that I cheated on you with her?
No.
Exactly. Because I wouldn't. I consider her like a little sister. And I like that she can hug me and get me to stop talking and make me feel safe. Even though she's half my size and weight. She trusts me after I just did all of this. I'd almost want to give you her name, but she doesn't use social media. She's got anxiety. Nobody needs to know where she's at. For all you know, she's just a friend I talked to over the phone. And that's why I got stranded, because she had to meet me there. You don't know where she lives. Nobody knows where she lives unless you're a law enforcement officer that had to report to me for something. Right? Unless you know her last name, you're not going to know where she is. I know where she is. Her mom told me, you're not allowed on my property. So she begged her mom to have permission to go down the street a little bit, wrapped up in a coat. Her phone died as soon as I got to her after I hugged her. She was snuffling and had a sore throat and a cough. She's exhausted because she wants me to get to know her mom. Not so that she can stand me from this one, but because I help her with her pain, with her anxiety. And I told her, you just need to hold your tongue and stop saying, ah, and start yelling insults at your mom. Because even whenever I say, man, she's like, I don't know, that's my mom, though. I care about her. But whenever you get angry at her, it's like, it doesn't stop anything. So let's make a deal. Hold your tongue whenever she's getting angry with you, right? I've already told you, even though you think you can't, that you tell her, Mom, I need a break. I'm walking down the road and I'm coming back as soon as I cooled off. I see, she can't do anything. She's 22 years old. She pays her half of the rent through her mom's being the payee, and she can go anywhere she wants freely, just so long as she lets her guardian know. She doesn't need to get permission. She's an adult, right? She doesn't have to be told, yes, she can do that, because she's an adult. But she's afraid the cops will be called whenever she wants to walk away. All you have to do is announce it. According to a sheriff's officer who I told exactly her situation, she's disabled, 22-year-old woman. Her mother's her legal guardian, and she's also her payee. She's afraid that she can't walk off of her property and meet me somewhere because her mom's going to be calling the cops on her. She text messaged me, please help. Big old explanation points, said it. Fearful that she's going to end up going to a group home because she doesn't want to go to a group home. And she doesn't like living there because one of her relatives drinks. Two of her relatives drink, right? But her and her mother recommended that one of their other relatives, I'm not going to say how they're related, should use my talents to help her with something she's dealing with. And this is not because I'm bluffing. I use Reiki healing, and she wants to get to know me, and I got offered the opportunity to do it over the phone. I don't know how to do that, really. I think I could because I've done it, but I'd never really consciously thought anything but I hope she's safe. I want her to be good, which is just a prayer. And if you can pray over the phone that somebody's going to feel better, okay, so that's one that I didn't know. One reason why she's a Reiki master shipping in and I'm a Reiki master. I didn't know that I could send the injury over the phone just by praying. Well, YouTube videos I watch can send the energy right through the video. I should probably be doing a live stream. This is almost an hour-long video of me jabbermouthing, and I'm not going to post it unless people approve of it because I'm going to go live and tell people, would you like me to release my next video? If so, I need people to watch me. And with that, I'm going to say sayonara, and you'll see this if you earned it.